I strongly believe that you have to create your systems and processes, your focus, and your care for your team first.
Okay.
And if it's done well, then it'll permeate out into society so well that everybody else will get attracted to that.
I'm Grant Botma, best-selling author and founder of an Inc. 5000 fastest-growing company in America. There was a time when I was drowning in day-to-day work because I was wearing all the hats. My business was a source of tension and frustration. But now, I have a high-performing team of self-directed people that are the greatest asset to my multi-million-dollar business. A business that changes lives and is a source of joy and freedom in my life. The Culture Course Show is designed to give you insights on the simple team-building framework that worked for me. If you're a business owner, manager, or leader looking for actionable tips and practical conversations, you're in the right place. Okay, I have a special guest on for this week's episode. Jim is a leader in the community that I live in. He's a leader at Gilbert Christian Schools, and as many of you know, the education world, the schools as a whole, and specifically the leaders of these institutions have gone through a lot, to say the least, as it pertains to their responses and how they've had to try to manage their responses to the whole COVID-19 situation. Well, as Jim was trying to manage this and try to figure things out, he thought it would be best for him to revamp some of the things going on internally with his team and with his culture. And he's experiencing a lot of success, doing some amazing things. And he had a great question. How should I create and make my mission and core values? Should it be focused on the customer, or should it be focused on my team? Now, this is a common question that I get all the time. And I think that you'll appreciate hearing the conversation between Jim and myself.
Yeah, my name's Jim Desmarchais. I'm the superintendent of Gilbert Christian Schools. So we're a growing private Christian school. We've gone from one campus to 3 in the last 10 years. And now we're kind of revisiting our mission statement, our core values. So we've written a new mission statement. My question for you is around the core values. When you write core values, are you writing them for your employees, or are you writing them for your customers?
Man, that's a really great question, Jim. I think there's a lot of thoughts as it pertains to business. Who are we going after? Who do we focus on? Do we focus on our customers? Do we focus on our people? And which one do we focus on first? It's like the chicken or the egg, right? I strongly believe that you have to create your systems and processes, your focus, and your care for your team first.
Okay.
And if it's done well, then it'll permeate and bleed out into society so well that everybody else, all your true customers, will get attracted to that. And I'll just ask you, Jim, you follow me enough on social media, I think, that do you know what the core value or the mission for my company, Stewardship, is?
I remember during the course, but I can't recite it, sir.
So our mission at Stewardship is we love people through finances. And that's what our goal and that's what our heart is. And it's what we repeat to our team. And it's caught on so well that our team starts talking about that. So whenever somebody gets introduced to them, say at like a birthday party or something, oh, hey, where do you work? What do you do? Oh yeah, well, we work at Stewardship, and our job, what we try to do is love people through finances. That's interesting. Tell me more of that, And then people in the community start to learn and grow and know more about that. The hardest part, especially at a school, is how do we create core values that are impactful? And what we can get caught up in a lot of times is having almost like an 8x10 sheet of paper completely filled with words on what our core values are and what they mean. The problem with that is they don't become repeatable, so they're not simple enough.
Right.
And they're hard to remember. So the thing that you have to really focus on and work on, and this is a mistake that I made, man, when I first started creating my core values, it was just that, right? I literally went away out of town to a cabin up on a mountain, praying over these words and making sure that they sounded great and they were perfect. And man, when I got down from the mountain, when I read this sheet of paper, it sure sounded cool, but it didn't connect with anybody. It wasn't
That's what
simple.
I felt like. Our previous mission statement, if you read it, it was fine. There was
Mhm.
nothing wrong in it, but it wasn't going to move anybody to change
Mhm.
behavior. And so really what I wanted to do is make sure these core values really spoke to, this is who we are. This is what
Mhm.
we do on a daily basis. And that's why I
Mhm.
was kind of emphasizing writing it for the employees or the teachers.
Mhm. Yeah. You know what the thing is too, if you
How
write it
we
for the teacher, um, and the teacher's able
that,
to repeat that back to the students, or they're able to repeat that back to the students' parents, then those parents are going to talk about it to other parents. And that's going to, hey, do
yeah.
you know what they teach the teachers here? Do you know what the teacher's supposed to focus on here? And that's going to bring in more engaged potential students to it. And that's a really, really beautiful thing. I've been building my team since the day I started my business. Here I am, an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company in America award winner, and $13.6 million in revenue later, I've discovered the exact ingredients needed for a wildly successful hiring process that creates a thriving company culture. Now, this brand new, fresh for 2020 masterclass is a culmination of the things I've learned to hire trusted, high-performing employees. If you're committed to making 2020 the year you finally build your team right, I can't wait to slash that learning curve and help you get there faster and more profitably. Go check out this masterclass now at culturecourse.com/hiring. That's culturecourse.com/hiring. This is a personal invitation from me to you, a free masterclass on how to hire right. So just for some simple action steps, Jim, we know that the brain works in threes. So in an ideal world, the core values would not exceed more than three. And sometimes we can get caught in creating acronyms, that have a whole lot of stuff to
That's what
them
I
because,
did.
and it's fun to do that. I did that too, right?
Yeah.
But the hard part with stuff like that is, again, it's hard to remember. So if you can simplify it down to three simple things, and those three things can get repeated over and over again internally, especially if they have selflessness involved, and they're genuinely working towards your mission of making the world a better place, people will connect with them. People will resonate with them. And then they'll get repeated back out into society, and it will draw even more people in. How do you feel like we answered that question?
I think that's great. I mean, it was kind of where I was leaning, but there are a bunch of opinions out there
Yeah.
on which way to go, and
Mhm.
I was leaning toward that way because I felt like, hey, if they execute on these, the result will, the customers, the students, and the parents will be so elated if that's what they're doing. So
Yeah.
I think that focusing on them and trying to change their behavior or guide their behavior
Mhm.
to be in alignment with our core values and mission statement makes the most sense. So
Yes,
thank you.
if we are managing or leading a business, an organization, or an entity that does not genuinely connect the customers or the students or parents in this case to the people that are in that entity, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And the only way that we can drive that connection to go really well is you start by making the mission and the values to make an impact on the people on the team first.
Yeah.
Then it'll flow through to the customers. And when that connection happens, it not only creates and converts, I would say, more engaged customers, but it keeps those customers around longer. Instead of having potential students that might come into Gilbert Christian for a year, you're talking about now students who are genuinely connected to the core values of this entity because the teachers are doing it, and they'll stick around K through 8.
Yeah.
And maybe even be so connected that when they have kids, they're so connected to those core values that their kids and their grandkids will want to be a part of Gilbert Christian. And how
Yeah.
beautiful would
Yeah.
that be,
Well, and I think the reality of the situation is it's more likely that my employees are going to be reviewing my core values than my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I know that
Mhm.
they're not gonna wake up every day going, "Yeah, gee, I need to look over Gilbert Christian's core values again."
Yeah,
But I'm hoping my
exactly.
staff will be, and we'll be
Yeah.
reinforcing them during training, professional development. Everything will be
Mhm.
related to those core values, and
Yeah.
even decisions that we're making moving forward will have to align with our core values.
Yes. Yeah, decisions, but then also affirmations in those
Mhm.
meetings. Anytime you give an award, anytime you do something
Yeah,
great, you can give an award to a teacher or someone on staff for really excelling in meeting this core value. And
yeah, that's
then
great.
maybe even to a student for really excelling in meeting this core value. What
Yeah,
a
that's
beautiful
great.
thing that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, thank you so much for the work that you're doing in our society, in our community. Man, Gilbert is a better place because of Gilbert Christian. And we're grateful for how you guys are navigating through all of this stuff with coronavirus and everything else. Your leadership in our community is not something that I gloss over. I'm grateful for it. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for your assistance today.
Can you see now why I think so highly of Jim? He is just a wonderful person, and I'm so proud that he's a part of the community that I live in. I love how he has responded with so much wisdom. I love how he has responded with so much genuine care for the community as a result of leading an educational institution through the coronavirus pandemic. It's been wonderful. Well, here's to more success for Jim in the future. And here's to more success for you as you continue to listen to this podcast, listen to other business owners, managers, and leaders as they grow in their ability to create thriving teams. We'll see you guys next week.